Today's one a day is Contract for Heroes. Contract for Heroes. Did anybody see something? Over the years, there's been tons of movies, tons of stories, cartoons, comic books, all about heroes, how they saved the day. Did anybody remember that movie with all the heroes were together and then a lot of them, I forget what it was called, they were gone and they never came back? No, it was with Captain America, he didn't come back. What? Avengers. Okay, what they wanted to show you, that was just pre-COVID. They wanted to show you that there are no more heroes. No one's coming to save you. And people, they're not even in the present moment to understand that, guess what? There's no truth out here, but there's truth in movies. So you guys think that somebody's coming to save you. And something invisible or something physical or nothing's coming to save you. And guess what? And you don't need to be saved by anyone else or anything else. You have to be saved by yourself. We talked about it yesterday, and there'll be a lot of people that think that I'm just full of hogwash, but the reality is, this is the only story that makes it logical for me to be here and to do this. And that this is a hero story. This is where you come down to this planet, and the planet is supposed to love and care for you, and that's what everybody talks about. And it's not here. It's an illusion. Your parents who are doing the best for you are adulterated. They don't know how to look after themselves, love themselves, care for themselves, and it's the truth, and I'm not putting parents down. I'm one of them. The reality is today you're not allowed to tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you're going to get thrown at or thrown back. Everybody, the majority lives lies down here. The majority is not going to be their own hero. They're just going to suffer along with false promises. The highly religious people are waiting. The political people are waiting. And the children are waiting for their parents to rise. We did not do that during the COVID thing. Adults did not show up. Some did. Very few showed up. I'm not talking about whether you took this or you didn't take this. But we allowed a whole nation, generation, to be heartbroken. There was more suicides, more drugs taken by young kids. I was doing interventions 3 to 5 a week for teenagers until it got ridiculous and I couldn't keep up. I'm not making this up. I still do 1 a week, 1 every 2 weeks. Because it's the fallout. We're the heroes. And I'm not talking about going to war. Anybody that goes to war to be a hero is sadly mistaken. The war is in here, and the war is in your house. It's in your bed. It's in your head. There's been no war. There's been no war for us, but we'll go to war. I'll go kill any bastards or anybody that's not in my nation. I'll go kill them all. Why? Because I heard I should. When was the last time that you guys were endangered? Never in your life. You're only endangered on the news. We know who owns media, Vanguard and BlackRock. The only hero you need to find is within yourself. and you need to contract yourself. You need to write a contract. You know what we talked about yesterday? I said, everybody go home tonight and write a contract that you are going to be the hero that shows up at every given moment because nobody else is going to. I get it. It's okay. I get it. Adults have never been so toxic in the history of this go-around, which is the 6th go-around on this planet. They've never been so toxic. They've never been so dumbed down. Do you know why zombie movies are so popular? It's because the majority of the population can relate to them, even if they don't like them. We are spirit beings, and we have a spark that can turn into a flame. I said to someone today, it was you, right? I said, why is it that you choose to dive in to that infinite love that you have, and you only stay there for just a really short swim because you feel so selfish to be there? I'm telling you right now, all the heroes have become dark. Look at the hero movies. They're all done in the dark. Okay? They've got to let you know what's going on. The Matrix wasn't a movie. Monsters, Inc. wasn't a cartoon. That which created the universe said there's only one rule for you psychos. You have to let everybody know that you are going to take them down. You are going to poison them. You are going to steal from them. Because you think somebody's coming to save you because you read it in a book. I'm not saying this to piss people off. I'm trying to tell you that anybody who really wants to be logical knows that their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents have all talked about the same thing. Where is it? I've never seen it. It's not coming. You need to be the one that shows up. And guess what? That's never going to happen for the majority of the population. And then people are saying, you are a cocky big mouth, Daryl. And I'm telling you, the majority of the population will never love and care for themselves. They have been broken. Their spirits have been broken. And look at the crap they eat. Most people only have a 4-inch consciousness when it comes to food. Do we have people in this room that actually still only have a 4-inch consciousness, but they're conscious of it and they want to change it? And are they stupid? Are they dumb? No. They've been programmed into being poisoned like everyone else. You know as well as I do, there's a corner store on every corner to kill us. You know that they'll sell all the alcohol in the world and then they'll punish us if we don't drive right, live right. But they put it right in our face. They tell us not to buy any street drugs, just buy theirs. Meanwhile, medical error is the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States. And guess what? You ready for this? Us Americans, guess what? We eat 50% of all the pharmaceuticals made in the world. There is not a nation more drugged. Understand something. Hero my butt, won't you? Understand this. America was strong because of what? Having the Federal Reserve, which isn't owned by the feds. It's privately owned by these psychos. And the reality is, the United States was allowed to print as much money as they wanted, anytime they wanted, so they could build a big army and go around and guess what? Not be heroes, but terrorize all the other countries to collect all the banking, all the minerals, and as much drugs as they could stuff in their pockets. And you know it. And I'm not trying to tear things down because we all got sucker punched. Nobody should have any guilt about anything. But history repeats itself. Here we go again. No, I'm not going anywhere. I am the hero of my story, and I'm shouting this out to everyone, but guess what? Very few people will hear me. All people heard was I'm putting down the Army, the Navy, and we have to protect ourselves against everyone. When was there ever an attack on this country? Except for a couple of times, which was our own government. But no, you go ahead and believe anything else because you need to. And understand something, okay? All right? Ignoring things doesn't work either, right? What happens when somebody in your family has cancer and you try to forget about it? You try to ignore it. Does it go away? So just know this. There will not be a nation more poisoned in the next 5 to 10 years than the American public. Does anybody know why? Because the 500-year reign as being the emperors of the world has to end. And how do you do that? You break the financial back and you make everyone sick. And if you don't see that that's going on right now, and the reality is this, everybody, what's happening? Oh my God, we're the strongest nation in the world and it's starting to crumble. Yeah, well, guess what? I don't know about you, but happiest I've ever been is when I've been visiting third world countries. They're disorganized. There's more nature. There's more beauty usually. My God, I can just go to Mexico where the cartel wants to kill me. Our government makes that up. I mean, I was in Mexico for 2 years, okay, running the World Healing and Training Center, and the only trouble I had was from gringos. It was gringo bingo. I never had any other trouble down there. It's the most peaceful place I've been. Everybody's got, you all live in some kind of world. I don't know what. Down there, they can't afford to spray the fruits and vegetables. Oh my God. So you get organic at 80% off. No chemtrails in the sky. Better watch out that you don't get pumped up about how big you are and how strong you are when you're being poisoned on the back end. Everything has to come down to the individual. I will always be abundant on all levels because I mind my own business. I'm not waiting for a savior. I don't need a check, okay? I could have started collecting my pension check almost 3 years ago. I don't even want the thing. I don't need the thing. I don't have health insurance. I am the insurance. The only people get health insurance are people that aren't their own heroes because they're planning on getting sick. Yeah, but what if you get into an accident? Well, I'm not going to. Well, that's not true. What if you get hit? I'm not going to be there. See, people can't think that high vibrational. And people are going right now, he'll get his. He's a smart ass. Yes, no, I'm not. I was created by God Almighty and I'm going to act like it. I'm going to protect this temple, okay? All right? Look, how often do you talk down on yourself? Don't give me your BS. How often do you talk, oh, I didn't do good enough. Oh, he doesn't love me. She doesn't love me. Never works out for me. Boy, it's hard out there. We already talked about this yesterday, didn't we? We are beacons. And we put out a frequency and we get back the same frequency. Your life looks exactly like it should, okay, for the story that you're writing with your vibration and your frequency and your words and your actions. Too scared to show up. So we're just going to turtle. It's going to get you nowhere. I get to sit around, because I will never give anybody an excuse about anything. Is that true? I don't excuse anything. But I get to sit here and listen to excuses from people every day, every moment, about why they can't jump into infinite love and be the hero that saves them at every moment, which is 1/10,000th of a second. All you had to do was put a slight smile on, shoulders back, connect to your breath, which connects to source, and know you're breathing. Most of you don't even know you're breathing. So shallow, you're not even here. But why is that? Well, because you're shallow. Because you're scared to dive into the deep end of infinite love for yourself, because you've been told that, that you're guilty of something. You're not guilty of anything. I applaud every one of you to come down to this life-threatening planet where the psychos will always have the financial power. They'll always be in charge of the government. They'll always be in charge of health care, which is not health care, it's medical care, because there's only one health care, and that's self-care. There's only one love, and that's self-love. Because if you don't self-love, then you get to have it only as a commercial. How do you like commercials? And then guess what? When you become your own hero and you unconditionally love yourself, you are never going to be having a tantrum. And guess what? Do you know how many times you complain and bitch, okay, and cause trouble for your spouse, for your family, because they didn't do what they did yesterday? See, until you're tank full, you won't be grateful, but you'll be full of it. So I will fill up my own tank and shine that light on Lori, Sage, everyone else in my family, and everyone here. Do I want anything from you guys? Because what do I want you to do even throughout the week? You're going to say, every time that you think that you should say thank you, you're not going to. You're going to say thank me. And you're going to thank yourself, and you're going to get used to thanking yourself until you understand that it's all about you. It was never about me. I have some strategies, techniques that work. That's it. There's nothing to thank me for. And you don't get this. But you never put anybody on a pedestal except yourself. And that's not having an ego. You need to rise yourself up. Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. And when people do it, it's because they want something from you. Tell me I'm wrong. The only people that you can be around and actually be around without being on your guard is someone that totally loves themselves, because they want nothing from you. And if you totally love yourself and you knew that you had the power to create anything, health, wealth, and abundance on all levels, can you trust that person? I guess you can. That's the only sovereign. Oh, I filled out all my paperwork and now I gave back my birth certificate and I gave back my driver's license. Yeah, but you're still not sovereign. You're not sovereign until you unconditionally love yourself. And when you make a mistake, it's not called a sin. Well, it is. That sin means missing the mark, but that's as much as you're going to put onto it. You're gonna observe and learn and grow, and you're not going to put yourself in jail, and you're not going to allow anyone to do it. And if you have family members or friends that try to do it, you walk from it. You don't participate. You don't participate in self-loathing, self-abuse. You do not do it. People that abuse others are self-abusers. You do know that, right? You can only give what you are. They're not heroes. Heroes take responsibility for their own breath, staying in the moment, owning it, their own healing. Doctors do not heal. Practitioners do not heal. We have strategies. We shine our light. Okay? We want to give them courage. You know, people will say, Dr. Wolf gives false hope. No, I'll tell you what we should do. you're all going to probably die, and we can't really help you. And no, we're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to encourage people. Don't you understand that the powers to be, they're not the powers to be. It's just that the majority buys into their BS. I will give false faith to everyone until it's real. And you can say, well, he's after their money. He's an ambulance. I don't chase ambulance. I tell people, don't come to me unless you're going to take total responsibility. I don't need your money, and I don't need the abuse. I get enough abuse. But I'm always going to, because these are self-abusers, self-haters. And they're always going to be there. Maybe the next go-around, they'll wake up and God loves them anyway, and I totally mean that. Whether you are an attacker or you're not, it makes no difference to me. I know that I have to unconditionally love everyone, because everyone will rise, everyone will shine at their own time. But I choose to be around heroes or people that are wanting to become their own hero. A hero is someone that has a slight smile on their face no matter what the problem is. But guess what? You wear that slight smile when there's a problem in your family, and guess what? You son of a... What? You wipe that smile off. No, I won't. It's my only protection. If I take that smile off, my pH drops right away. I become acidic. And guess what? That means my oxygen levels drop, and that means that there could be mutation in my cells. What? What? Yeah. I'm a light energy being, and I'm going to keep the light on, and I'm not going to go into total darkness because the rest of you need to. I'm not going to buy into any religious garbage that if I do this, I go to hell for this long, or I go to hell for this long. This is heaven, and I'm making it that way. You're only 7 inches from sovereignty right here. So you choose to make a contract with yourself. And guess what? Lovingly ignore everyone else that is bought into the suffering BS, and that life is about a struggle, and that there's always going to be suffering, and we need to give up our joy today for a better tomorrow. And I'm always going to tell you that. I need nothing from anybody. And I'm not saying it like, I need nothing from any of you. I'm trying to tell you, you're all off the hook. You don't have to be nice. You can be whatever you want to be, because you're going to be anyway. And I'm going to love you anyway. And if we did that, there'd be no more war. There'd be no more war anywhere. Contract for heroes. Everybody needs to go and write this. When you feel the most connected to that which you call God, and you feel so special, and you feel so in love with yourself, at that moment you've got to sit down and write. Because that's the only moment you're going to have of clarity. You know, people will tell me this. They'll go, you know what? I was driving along, and I swear I felt God. I felt Jesus. I felt something. I felt this. Now, people aren't going to like this. I feel it all the time. It takes two. Both parties have to have unconditional love. Both parties. I had a lady come here when I did a lecture here in Bonita, and she came. I've been following you for 7 years, and I just need you to know, Daryl, that I pray for you every night, that you will just see the light. I didn't know what to say to her. She doesn't understand that my light is different than her light. Your story can be absolutely different than mine. You can have a totally different story. And don't we all? How many different religions are there? How many different faiths are there? How many people that don't have faith have different stories? And guess what? You actually believe that all the rest of the stories are in trouble. Because you actually made that which created the whole universe into something that has a personality disorder. When that which created the universe understands something, we are already Bravehearts for coming down here. The moment you get here, someone's trying to kill you. I mean, think about it. If that isn't a great adventure, we are the Avengers. And we need to come together as superheroes. And we need to make unconditional love and care, okay, our weapon. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. So I apologize if I tried to start a cult. Because that's what I'll be called in a minute. You have to do it for yourself. Your thing is totally different than mine. But I want you to ask yourself, close your eyes and ask yourself, if you never judged yourself again, or if you never, ever, ever allowed anyone to judge you, but you are going to observe it and say, is there somewhere I can grow in that? Because there's always a little bit of truth, even when somebody's having a tantrum against you. Because understand, tantrums are just, it's 3:15 and it's time to blow. I'm telling you right now, do whatever you want. Be chaos. Keep running the same program. Everybody here, I'm going to tell you something. Start today. And track yourself for 33 days. And tell me you're not running a program. You're going to find that you are having the same little tissy fits and the same amount almost every day. Oh, there's Jim. He does great for like 2 months and then he goes dark for 10 days. Everybody's running a program. I'm running a program, but I'm going to run my own program. I don't care what the majority of the population thinks of it. I'm the one that gets to have the benefits, okay, or feel the suffering. You want to get really pissed off? Have your family not suffer when you're suffering. You'll get so pissed off, and that's how dysfunctional we are. You're not taking this serious. I'm in pain right now. You don't understand. Okay, yeah, okay, got it. How long is this going to last? And then I'm a cold-hearted son of a bee if I don't go, it's going to be okay. I've been there. I'll probably go there again. I think I'm going now. I'm not doing this, okay? You guys go ahead and you buy into that. You buy into that therapy. You buy into the therapy that I need to go back in my past and find out who raped me, who tortured me, who made me become this. And then I'm going to go back there, and then I'm going to get angry, and then I've got to learn to forgive everyone. Oh my God, I hope you live like 500 years. Who made up that stuff? Here's the moment. Let's own it. Let's focus on what we love, not what we don't love. And then when we do focus on that, even if we have to lie until it becomes truth. Because that's what you did anyways. Look how you dumbed yourself down. You actually get sick. You actually give yourself headaches and pimples and tumors and arthritis. Every disease is you're not at ease, you're not in harmony. And you know what? Everybody thinks I'm fraudulent and all my BS. Sim, do I live like this? What? Do I live like this? Like I said, do I live like this? You've been around me. Do I live like this? Is there any difference on how I live when I leave the class? This isn't an act. It used to be. I had to act like it until I act like it so much, it goes with me everywhere. Nothing gets me down. What do you mean? You don't suffer for people? You don't? No. Do you feel for them? Oh, really? Really? I live out of a suitcase. I'm going to be traveling for the next 8 months all around the world and try to tell people what I do. Would you like some of it? And then I'm done. I'm not going to do this. It's like a lot. I mean, you want the test? The test is to live out of a suitcase and then look at a picture where you're going to stay, and when you get there, it's nothing like it. And you know, sometimes like with my lectures and touring and teaching, like we're moving around sometimes 7 days. Like right now I'm here for, I don't know, I don't know. There's so many things up in the air. Mexico's up in the air. Puerto Rico stuff is going on. I got stuff going on in different parts of the world. So if something drops, I got to go. And you know, I've got 3 months off, but it's not 3 months. Do you know what it is? I'm reorganizing everything. We are going to have the most powerful practitioners in the world. And do you know how you have that? You love and care for them as you love and care for yourself. You make sure that you create nets that when they fall, they went, shit, he did catch me. He did catch me. You know what? Yes, let's help our patients. Let's help our clients heal by showing them how to love and care for themselves, create the perfect day. But the reality is you are important to me. Every one of you are going to see hundreds or thousands of people. So I'm coming after you because I want you to never feel shame or guilt for coming and taking a course that's only 23 days, learning the Whole Life Coach and Wolf Non-Surgical, because you will kick butt out there. Because it's not how long you went to school, not how big a debt you went into. You are created by God Almighty. You act like it. And healing people is mainly about teaching them how to have a perfect day. And I've laid it all out for you, have I not? Yeah. You'll find your own way. You'll find your own groove. You'll take my stuff. You'll change it up. Maybe you'll create your own course and you'll call it something, and you'll go out there and you will shine your light better than me. Because you're going to take my information and then you're going to make it better because you've got a different imagination, and that's what's going to happen, and that's what you all need to know, and I want to help you there. When you leave here as a practitioner, you go, yeah, Dr. Wolf, he really helped me learn a lot, but he's never going to do what I'm going to do. And you need to say that. That's not selfish and that's not ego. You need to, but you need to put full action into that. Because honestly, we should be able to take somebody's information and look at it from different eyes and perspective and make it better. Do you understand? And guess what? You've always wanted to do that, right? You wanted to do better than your parents because you wanted better for your children. But until you know better, you can't do better. You know, when people say I'm in the process, I just look at people and they go, I'm in the process. I'm really working on changing. They don't have any tools. And I don't say anything, but they're never going anywhere. The majority of the population is never going to go anywhere. They're just going to get older, and they won't make as many mistakes because they're not going to be doing as much. But they're not going to feel the joy that they could have felt because they would have to put up with the world saying you're selfish. If you put yourself first, you're selfish. Really? Really? They tell us to put the mask on first, right? If the plane's going down, well, guess what? The whole planet's going down, yes or no? The majority of the population is The Walking Dead right now. That's why The Walking Dead was so popular. I'm telling you, that's why it was so popular, because we can relate to it. Tell me that you don't go into any city and you don't see people walking around in Zombieville, right? Yeah, and it's not their fault, but it will be their responsibility that they pick everything that's going to be high vibrational and they contract themselves as their own hero. Nobody's coming to save you. You need to find a really good person that wants to love and care for themselves and shine their light on you. That's the type of partner you want. You know, that's the type of people you want to be around. I want to share with you everything that I have. You know, we've created a program to be as financially accessible. As you know, there's a few people here that have taken our program 3 times so they can come as much as they want for life. You know that we have all types of Q&As every week that are free. You have a whole library that's free. My God, we build you a professional website for only $2,250. We do everything that we will to make it happen, but you need to contract yourself as a hero. Who wants to come on and talk about their little process? Penny, you want to come? Sure. So here's the deal. Do what's uncomfortable. Do what's uncomfortable for you. Okay, now you ready for this? You're not going to like this, well, especially people on here. Do not do for others that's uncomfortable for you. Did you get that? There might be exceptions, but you need to do what's uncomfortable for you. Do you understand? There's a difference. How many times have you said yes to a family member or a friend when you wanted to say no? How many times have you said no to yourself and you know that if you said yes, your life would have changed? Now, what if we were to program the majority of the population that they did not deserve a beautiful life? Well, that is the majority of the population. If I created systems and I created laws, rules, and different things that you bought into, that if I do this, I get this. If I do that, I get that. I don't buy into anything. Well, I hope you know this goes back like hundreds and thousands of years. Yeah, it's probably old and we need to throw it out. So I'm not really going to be a friend of people who have dragged things through history and believe that it's working when it's not. If all of this stuff that is so good and it's coming to save us is working, why isn't anybody being saved? Why isn't life better? Why are we the sickest that we've ever been in our life? How can 250,000 people hogtie 8.5 billion? Because all of our systems and training is just working? Yes, it is. The systems and the training has worked. We're all slaves on a slave planet. Okay? And I know this. Certain things are never going to change that are beyond my control. But everything that is in my control, which is my emotions, and how abundant I will be health-wise, wealth-wise, all of that is up to me. I never have to go to work. I go to pleasure. I don't have a job. I have a joy. And if everybody, because what did our parents, they were trained? You get a job. No, you get out and find your pleasure, what makes you happy. And you will be more than great. I knew that a long time ago. How many of you are in this class that are actually doing something that you don't like? Yeah, a lot. A lot of you. Because guess what? You're a slave. You're a slave to the system because guess what? You'll be judged. And guess what? Whether you want to believe this or not, the majority of the population just wants to see that you work hard and that you're exhausted at the end of the day because that's what a good human is. And at the end of the day, I'm not exhausted. At the end of the day, I feel just great. Because if you go with the attitude and you don't even know this, it's in your subconscious. How's your day, honey? Oh my God. You know, because men were taught that when they get home, They got to be like brutalized by the time they walk in the door. Women were taught you don't have time for that. But a man is taught that as long as the mortgage is paid, he's done his job. Meanwhile, little do we know, but the women have been paying for the mortgage for a long time. Now, the reality is men in their head, when they get home, their job's over. Guess what? When they get home, that's when the job started. They had their pleasure out there. When they come home, they better be coming home and showing that they can bring the love down, baby, and that they're going to make that place a castle. I'm not going to get into that, but where are the men? He shoots, he scores. No, he doesn't. He doesn't score with his family. Your contract. How'd you feel about doing it?
My contract for myself.
Can I say this, everyone? So what we did is we told everyone to go home last night and to write a contract, because yesterday was the third day. And almost everyone here had their coconut cracked from the inside out, and everybody was feeling the bliss of self-love and self-care, which, by the way, I know is illegal, okay, out there. But you guys can take that and shove it where the light doesn't shine. And the reality is I knew that they held that vibration last night. It was time to bring in the contract. So it was the only time, because your subconscious would go, I'm writing an unconditional love and care contract for myself. You could never do that unless you drank the Kool-Aid yesterday. Okay? The Kool-Aid is unconditional love for myself and actually feeling it. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with that. My contract for myself is to continue, when I go home, to continue implementing the 12 loving steps in my mirror work, because I will tell each and every one of you in this room, for some of us, you're going to go home and you're going to not hold the line. And that's what happens.
What's holding the line? Holding the line is not coming against your family. Let's make that perfectly clear. We leave them alone. Yes. We don't leave them alone, like ignore them, but we leave them alone. We don't go home to try to change them. What's holding the line for you?
That was, for me, I went back and it was like, oh, I got to fix my kids. I got to do that. And I was driving myself crazy. And I realized, I was like, stop. What are you doing? This is about you healing yourself first and shining that light so your kids you can be that example for your kids, and even my business. Because how can I continue to grow when I couldn't sell what I wasn't yet?
My God, just think if you actually believed that unconditional love, okay? Move the mic over. We don't have a mic, okay? But we'll move it over. You need to speak louder or something. I don't know. It's usually not me.
I'm just
because
saying,
people
for
usually
me,
say I have a big mouth, so it's got to be you. Go ahead.
The contract I have for myself is to continue holding the line, implementing self-care for myself. And there's some things I want to do. I want to get a colonics to help me.
You have to speak, because people are saying now that somebody else can't hear her.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it that low? Okay. So
I just want to say something. Until people can hear you,
okay,
you're not there for yourself. You're not. You're not there for yourself. And we're not talking about yelling at people. I'm not, but I'm coming from deep within my core. When you come deep within your core, okay, go ahead, love. We're done picking on you.
Start over?
Yeah.
All right. So for me, when I go home...
Wanda says she can hear you fine. Okay? Yeah.
I want to continue to hold the line for myself.
And what is that?
That is the 12 loving steps, and continuing to do my mirror work.
And wearing a slight smile even when someone in the house is having a pouty-wouty.
Yes. And not be a
What's going on, honey?
Yeah.
Aw, how long is it going to last, sweetheart? This isn't being a smart ass.
No.
You are talking to their conscious mind. When you're stroking them and going, oh, it's going to be okay. Mommy's here, honey. You know what that is? You just made yourself into a nipple for about another year or so. Let me tell you something. It's not disrespect. Okay, so do you want to change that story?
Yes.
And guess what? Let's just see here. Okay, it's 3:15 on Thursday. Let's see, last time you only went 3 days. We're not picking on them. You need to have everyone in your family understand we all run programs. Let me know when you'd like to change it and have a different one. That's all. And just know this, that the course I took, I learned about the programs. So I'm actually going to be able to tell that the type of program you're having. So please tell your whole family when you get there, if I don't buy into the program, please don't be upset with me. Okay? Because I can't, because it's exhausting. And you should just do it for yourself. I'm serious. I had to let my family know that when I woke up that I was participating in feeding their program. They fed my program. Don't tell me you don't. You play games with everybody in your family, and they play games. You know what? A family's either pushing their love buttons, each of them, or their what? Aggravation, self-hate, okay? All right? Let me tell you something. Take a look at it. I said this, she did that. I did this, she did that. And guess what? That's insanity, and it's been going on for as long as your relationship is with that person. Yeah, look at her head bobbing up and down. Right? Are you the little doggy in the back of the window? No, listen. But the reality is knowing that we all do it. I have a relationship with my family, and none of them are terrorized. But at the same point, there's times where I go, I love you and I will be hanging up now. I am not going to negotiate with the subconscious of this crazy program that people run. This is not arrogance. Who's gonna be the hero to hold the line? I want to hear your story, but I want to support you. Supporting a program of suffering is not what I'm here for anymore. I was raised a mother and a woman, and I was raised to suffer more than the children and my spouse. It's over. Letting everybody know in the family. My suffering will not equal yours. It won't even come close. And then you're going to call me selfish. But guess what? As I was bred to be the caretaker of this house, I will take good care of me so I can take good care of you.
Exactly. That's what I meant by holding the line.
You look so much better today, too.
Thank you.
You do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But,
the second day, it looked like a truck hit you.
I felt like it.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and don't be saying that it was my license plate that hit you.
So for my contract, yes, I want to continue to hold that line when I get home, of continuing my self-care, self-love, because I did not do that 100% when I went back
And be
home.
peaceful with it.
Yes.
Don't terrorize the family and, put on the show of this is what you're going to do now.
And that's what I did.
Mind your own business.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was so
And how did that
worried.
work?
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. I mean, it really it was. And
You can't sell a new program, whether it's one to save the family or to kill the family.
Yeah.
Go home and try to kill your family. They won't like that. Go home and try to save them. They won't like that either. Because the subconscious says anything that's different, I'm not letting in. So you'd have to actually do it for 9 months before it would even sprout anything. Because look how hard. You're the one who took the course and you're struggling with it, but you want them to change.
Right. Exactly. And it doesn't work. No. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, and then also to continue with my self-care and implementing those into my everyday.
The greatest community is your vehicle, this body.
Yes.
50 trillion cells, 500 trillion bacteria are saying, honey, she's home. You will never be sick. Did you know that you can live on this planet and never be sick? And everybody's going BS. Now what's he going to sell? There's Jimmy Jones there or something. Let me tell you something. I don't get sick. I might have a little sniffle. I know when to up it, okay? I know when to back off. Until you honor, love, and respect yourself, you will be sick.
Yes. Yeah. And to also, for my contract, I'm going to own a Cellsonic in my home and a cardio med bed. Once I get my business growing, when my light starts to shine more.
Well, when your light shines more, your business will, because you're minding
Exactly.
you're minding your own business. Minding your own business does help your business. Wait, I don't really get that, Carol. And I'm not trying to be. Remember something. I am never trying to be a smart ass. I am never trying to pick on anyone. I'm trying to get into your subconscious and let them know there's a new sheriff in town. That's all. Did he just disrespect me? No. I just went and told your subconscious that isn't yours until it's all based on prominent, dominant, unconditional love and care for yourself, that you know what, you are going to be ruled and screwed.
Yep.
You've come a long way. You would never sit up here.
No.
And to be the first one, too. Did somebody pay you or something?
No. It's part of me.
See? That's
Growing.
right. That's right. That's
Got to
right.
step out of that shell.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it for you. And you can't care what people think, because people don't think. People are programmed. Did you get that? I care what people think. Really. Find me one person that's actually thinking. Because if you can find me that person that's thinking, they're gonna go, you did it. You fell forward. You dusted yourself off, and by the time you stood up, you already had your slight smile. Maybe it never left your face. And that, you know what you just did? You just gave that person the right. So that's how you give your children the right. Take a look at where you were, okay? And then don't ask yourself ever again why your kids are like they are. And this is not about guilt. This is not about anything, except that, guess what? Our children mimic us. We know that, because by the time they walk and talk, they're acting like mommy and daddy, and then we spank them and put them in the room, and all they were trying to do is give us the gift of awareness.
Yes.
Self-awareness is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And that would be looking at yourself without any judgment. You can take your rules and put them where the light doesn't shine. I'm going in without judgment, and I'm going to take a look at that subconscious, the programs it plays, and I'm going to go, nope, that's it. You know what people usually say? I've got so much work to do. No. You've just got a lot of loving to do. Practice loving. That's all you got to do.
Absolutely, yes.
So
Because I was good. I'm good at Wolf Non-Surgical.
I know
I'm
you
good at
are.
all.
I know you are.
But what I wasn't good at was still loving myself, and I knew
It's
I
exhausting.
felt that.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah.
Just look at how much energy you have at the end of the day, and then go back and recall your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go, well, I don't remember thinking about anything. Well, there could be a problem too, because the brain is always thinking, and guess what? You want to give it something to think about. How amazing you are, how you have abundant energy, how every treatment is going to be successful, how people are going to be coming and calling from all over the place, because guess what? They want what you have, and you will be that beacon.
And you are worth it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm worth it. That's right.
You're worth it.
We're all worth it. That's it. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Next.
Next.
Hey everyone, I'm Dana Anu, and I want to thank Penny for jumping us off in this great exercise. When you first start this process, for me,
And also, Penny, where do you live?
Indiana.
Indiana? Where in Indiana?
Union Mills.
What?
Union Mills.
Union Mills. Okay, she lives in Union Mills, Indiana. Okay, let's get the word out. And what's your phone number?
219
219
309
309 7092.
92.
I'm sure I saw that number in the bathroom wall. What was the number again?
7092.
Well, the first part,
219
219
309
309
70
70
92.
92.
Yes.
Now, do you think next time that you come up here that you could do that? Because guess what?
Yes.
Please, there is at least one person on here that would like to talk to you. Okay? And then Act 2 and 3 and 4. And understand something. People go, well, I don't want to do that because it might look like I'm trying to be successful. What?
I was saying thank you to Penny for jumping us off of this great exercise. When you first started, a lot of you were probably struggling, and I was too when I started it. But now what I do,
No,
what you need?
my drink.
Yeah, which one?
It's okay. I can do without it.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Simran to the rescue.
Oh, I need my drink.
So I do it daily now for myself. So this is my calendar. I'm not going to let you read it because it's personal, but I'm going to show you what it looks like real quick here. That's understandable, right? to you guys?
That's called calendar contract yourself. That's what that is. It's calendar contracting. So what you do is every day you're actually going, rocked it, tantrum at 3:15, only lasted till 3:25, usually lasts till 3:45. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes, I've got codes on here. It's color marked, it's coded for me. So if anybody looked at it, they'll be like, she's a mess. And in truth, that's me loving myself, right? Because you know when I check it is with the 12 loving steps, mirror work. At night, when I say my mirror work, after I've looked at this all day and processed it all day, I can look in the mirror and I go, Dana, you protected yourself. Oh, I didn't protect myself today. I let this one down. I didn't hold the line there. Said something that it used to be the old me. So I go back, I do my mirror work again, and I go, and you held the line, and you, not so much. Okay, so then the next day I go, okay, what did I learn from my mirror work last night? So even though I've been doing mirror work for a long time, I use it a little bit differently. If you're just beginning with it, you're going to use it to learn how to talk to yourself about self-love and reprogram your subconscious to understand what self-love looks like for you. And I believe that's part of what Doc wants you to do with your contracts, right? Look at them now. Look at them and then implement them like Penny was saying, right? Figure out how to do it. And like I said yesterday, don't grab 10 things. Grab like 2-3 things that you can just get on, put it on paper, because something about, neurologically, about this paper for everyone and using your
It's
hand.
involving all your senses to bring you back and make you know who you are, where you're going. You know, first of all, you got to track down the fraud. Okay? Because you were given fraudulent beliefs about life and yourself and everyone else. So you got to track down those fraudulent beliefs that are down in back in the recesses of your subconscious. That's really what she's doing. She's going to track them down, and she's going to notice them and go, wow, yeah, you're the one that runs that. And then she's going to just, I'll be ignoring you now. We'll be doing the absolute opposite.
Correct. Anybody know the 12th step? If you're a master practitioner or about to be, you should know what the 12th step is. Right?
We're going to go through the 11th and 12th.
Okay.
But the 12th is huge.
Masses. It's the pinnacle of what self-love looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's the actual physical change and structural change in your brain that you can hold on to. Okay? I was going to say one other thing, and now I can't remember it. Then I guess I'm done.
Somebody says it's hard work. No, it's not hard work. It's loving yourself. Everybody thinks it's hard work. You know what? Hard work means you're a sinner, you're a failure, you're a loser. Okay? It's got nothing to do with that. Okay? Oh my God, it's so hard work to try to be nice to me. Really? Really?
How long did it take you to write your contract? Somebody tell me. 10 minutes. There you go. That's hard work. What else you do today for 10 minutes? Yeah.
Guess what? The harder it's going to be is depending on how many laws, regulation, and rules that your family lives with. I don't have any. There's only one in our family. Ask Sage, ask anybody. One love, one message, one law, unconditional for everyone. have fun, right? Doesn't matter what time of day, do we? Do we have fun in our house? Yeah. Have you seen any bumps? She's staying with us. We're not putting on any acts. I was in my underwear this morning running around. Yeah, she's ruined. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Frederick's up next. Oh, Frederick.
Yeah, where do you live?
Frederick's on point.
Yeah.
You reminded me, where do you live? What's your number? I live in central North Carolina. I'll be down here in February with my beautiful friend Kimberly. We're going to be doing Braveheart Circles. I can't wait to do that. My number is 315-360-2467. I'll do that again. It's 315-360-2467. I'll have a cardio med bed in my practice in the next couple of months, and I'll be talking about that on a regular. You can come see me on my Facebook page, and I'll be talking a little bit more about what that is and how to use it as well. Is that everything, Frederick? He's up next.
Yeah, and somebody just asked on here, because Dr. Sage did a post. Yeah, he's booked out for the next 6 months. He's got room to do a certification and a couple of personal treatment and trainings in November. That's the only month he has, and then he's booked out until spring. That's how booked we are. So, if you want to have a personal certification done in your home or your clinic, or you want a personal treatment and training as a couple or a family, okay? All right, you can get in touch with him. Sage, somebody's asking, what's your phone number?
+1
+1
250
801
5673.
5673. You can get him on WhatsApp or FaceTime, or you can give me a call I'm extension 5 on our 800 number, or just call the office and they'll get in touch with you. But just know he's got a room for a couple personal treatment and trainings and a personal certification in Wolf Non-Surgical. So if you're interested, contact, because it'll be first come, first serve. Hey, my friend.
I'm coming. What's going on, bro?
Lots for you.
Yes. First, I want to thank me. So I was sitting down yesterday, and thanks for everybody out there in the Ethernet. I just thought to put down things that I think is important for me in order for me to continue this journey. So one of the first things that says, be authentic self. Be your authentic self. Number 2 is make your bed early in the morning. Make sure you do that. That's a good start. Be a monster warrior that you control. Do it 1% improvement each day. Compare yourself with yourself, what you did yesterday, and see how well you did.
Beautiful. And that's where it is right there. Compare yourself to nothing else except yourself.
Love yourself first and always. Smile and laugh, because it's actually contagious. Defeat your former self. For me, it's always enter win. And just defeat your former self. You become better. Transcend to be the best version of yourself. Be kind and curious. Take full responsibility for all your actions. You just own it, like what you said.
Without guilt. And you're going to have to say without guilt there.
Without guilt.
For quite a while. If there's any guilt attachment, then guess what? You can't take responsibility for it because you're not clear. Because now with the guilt, you're not actually observing to grow. There's no growth. Guilt stops all growth. Get it? That's why our children don't grow. They fear us. That's why you fear the world, because the world there's no justice out in the world. There can only be justice in here. Because everyone who is taught to what? Judge. Come on, guys. Everybody judges. Everybody judges. I have been working on this forever. I do not judge. I even have a little smell of it, and I won't allow it. Because people will say, do you believe in God? Well, of course. And guess what? That's how you serve that which we call God, is never judging again. You don't have to like something, but you better not be going in and hating it, because if you do, that is the cancer.
All right, so one of the things that I just figured out is 3, 2, 1. You got this, right? I'm using it because it actually helps. Keeps me on track. And
I was,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, when I first started this, I was snapping. I didn't have a love band, Braveheart love band. I had a hair band, okay? And I used my little girl's hair bands. And I was snapping that thing, and I made an oath to myself I would snap it 30 times an hour or more. You want to talk about fast change. Because yeah, but Daryl, that's a moron. You're just a robot. Yeah, well, guess what? So are you. And guess what? So are you. And if I'm going to be robotic, I'm going to do something long enough and strong enough that if I just do this, it says to my subconscious, there's a new sheriff in town called unconditional love, and we're not going anywhere but there. Until the point that, guess what? If I go to reach for something and that band comes into my eyes, it may not be consciously focused, but my subconscious goes, oh yeah, the cameras are still here. Everybody behave and keep to the unconditional love.
give respect when earned, give compliments, and focus on beauty, not fault. Be present and admire the beauty that is around us all the time. Attack your fears fiercely. Attack your fears fiercely. Make your time count. Every second counts. Know your enemy.
And wear protection.
Okay, protection. For me, it's always at a minimum do 15 minutes of stretch each day, walk for 30 minutes, and do your workouts. Finish up with 2 more things. Optimize and level up. I will escape this prison. And last but not least, and this is 24/7, 365, live, laugh, and love.
That was great.
And again, I'm Frederick, Frederick Person. I live in North Carolina, and about 2.5 hours, I think, from you, and in Fayetteville. My phone number is 910-988-3231. Call me up.
And guess what? If you want to have somebody that can do non-surgical on you and has already been at war, he can help you win the war. Okay?
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? Nobody else? Nobody else? Oh, I'm just kidding. I was kidding. I felt I was making it into an auction.
I bid the highest, right?
You did.
Just a little bit to explain mine. I did it last night first, and I was
You have to
through
sit
that
just 1 inch closer.
traumatic
There, see.
experience yesterday. So I was sitting on the bed writing it, and it sounds more like a business contract. And I read it.
Well,
I tweaked it
mind
a
your
little
own
bit.
business.
So then I thought, you know what? I'm not going to make it perfect tonight. I'm going to set it aside, and when I wake up, I'm going to write another one and compare them. It looks like they're written by 2 different people. The one last night is filled with a lot of,
She must be fun to live with.
I will not, I will remove, I will not gossip judge, I will remove myself from unhealthy situations. But in the front, I thought, well, I better put I promise. I promise to think positive thoughts, to love and develop my own God-given talents, blah, blah, blah.
It's important that you don't tell yourself what you're not going to do anymore. You only tell yourself what you are going to do, nothing else.
That's why I set it aside.
And then you brought in the other person.
Right. And this
Okay.
morning when I woke up, I read it and I thought, oh my gosh.
But you see, can I say something? That's how harshly she judges herself.
Yeah.
Because that first time she wrote it, the unconscious her, that was a positive statement. So when you think you're being positive, how many people do I correct here? You think you're saying something positive, and I go, no, you see that word that was in there? And you go, oh my gosh. Your subconscious will do whatever it can to keep you wherever you are because it fears any change. And do you know what the main, if you don't mind,
Go ahead.
and I'll be quiet,
Yeah.
but this is really important. Do you know what the main thing that I worked on, the hardest thing I worked on, is that I will not live with any fear in my life. And people can say he's lying, but I have no fear. Ask anybody that lives with me, I have no fear. I will stay connected to this breath. I will have a slight smile, and it doesn't matter who's threatening me or, because guess what? You can't be like me, and you're coming up against so many systems. And you know what? If you want to be a brave heart and you want to be a leader, then you have to be ready, okay, to run the gauntlet. And you're going to have to know when you got to give it and pivot, okay? Because even those who say they love and care for you will feel threatened by you. Go ahead.
That's true. And, we were working on my shield yesterday, and when I read the first one last night, I thought, I'm building that shield back up, which I do not want to go through again. So this morning, when I woke up, and it says, it's more like just a woman, like I got with me, not for business or protecting myself, loving myself. I, Tamara Braveheart, pledge from now until eternity to love, honor, respect, and forgive my body, mind, and soul. I pledge to think positive and edifying thoughts about myself. I pledge kindness to my physical body with healthy foods and exercise. I pledge to develop and share my God-given talents. With the power and authority from God and for the sake of my spirit, I will abide. I am Tamara. I am Braveheart.
God, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, do you want to tell people about your heart release yesterday?
Sure.
Everybody, a heart release is where we use non-surgical, and we go in and we start right here in the solar plexus to open that up, come up through the sternum area, and then we come into the heart, and there's a place called the God spot if we can get there, but when we're there because it feels like a hot poker going in, because whether we want to believe this or not, the main thing that still is taking lives on this planet is a broken heart. And we shield our hearts with calcium and scar tissue. And whether you want to believe this or not, 99% of all heart disease is from a broken heart, not from a diet. And understand, because the heart vibrates higher than any other organ. It does never get cancer, the only organ that doesn't. That's how high it vibrates. And the only thing that can destroy the heart, really destroy it fast, is a broken heart, an empty heart. Okay, a heart that is not tank full by the person that is trying to be filled up by the world.
And I had 2 previous heart attacks, and they never could explain why, because my cholesterol levels were perfect. I didn't have any calcification or blood clot. I had calcification. I didn't have any blood clots. But I know I talked about this on Facebook the other day about how we did the clapper in the crook of our
You
arm.
want to show your
I didn't
arm
show
closer?
you guys any pictures, and this is down by 3. This is like
3
2.5
days.
days.
If you take
ago.
a look, she clapped only here, and it comes right to about here, and it came up to about here. So she has so much heartache because this is the lung and heart meridian right here. So when we clap that with the clapper, it spread down to here and spread up to here, right? And that's because, guess what she did? She did not bruise herself. She actually released the issues in her tissues from the lungs and her heart. And that this here, if she continues this, she will be able to do this maybe, I'd say probably with her 5 times.